G'day people. I'm going to cook something rather different today. Chocolate pumpkin and orange fish. Chocolate pumpkin with orange fish. Has anyone done that before? Not to my knowledge. Now we'll start by putting some water in the steamer. Because we're going to steam the pumpkin. Not too much water, but enough. So let that come up to temperature. Now, a lot of people hurt themselves when they're peeling pumpkin. I myself almost cut the tendon in the thumb right there. Almost. I got to within a 15th of cutting it, but I didn't cut it, but I was lucky. Very lucky. So the main reason people get into trouble with pumpkin is the rind is so tough that they use a lot of force to get through the rind, and of course then you may need to slip and you cut yourself badly. I mean, the doctor I spoke to in the hospital, he told me, a lot of people have that problem with pumpkin. So pumpkins are dangerous. So best way to deal with pumpkin, use a big knife. Don't use a peeler because a peeler won't be strong enough. Don't use a small knife, you're more likely to cut yourself. Use a big knife and make sure it's sharp. And keep your hands away from the blade. Don't get your hands on the wrong side of the blade. That's the trick. So you can put as much pumpkin in as you like. It's just me, so I'm just going to have this much. Now I might, the steamer's steaming along nicely, so I'll just video inside the steamer so you can just see what's happening. Even though it's obvious what would be happening. Alright. So here we go. Twice. I've got to hit that twice. Bloody idiots. Alright, see the steam? And you see the pumpkin. So I'm just going to leave it like that. Let it steam. Let it steam quite happily for probably about 15 minutes. But I'll just give it 10. I'll give it 10 and I'll come back and I'll start on the fish. Let's get a fork. It's going to test the pumpkin. Still hard, so that's okay. Still hard. Now, I'm going to do the fish. So, take the zest off an orange. Maybe not all the zest, but some of the zest. And I love this zest. Zest is really great, If you haven't got one of these, get one. Compared to grating it with a grater, it's far easier. Far easier than using a grater. Far quicker. It doesn't, it does leave stringy, your zest comes off in a string, but is that a problem for you? I don't know. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. Probably isn't, Anyway, that'll do. Now we just, so I'm all about efficiency and laziness, so rather than use an extra container to hold the zest and then another container for the orange juice, I'm just going to just put the zest straight into the juicer receptacle, and because and I'll just tip it from there straight into the fry pan. Save on things, save on extra dishes. Who wants to wash dishes they don't have to wash? Not me. Maybe some other people out there with a dishwashing fetish. Go your hardest, people. Go your hardest, but I'm not into it. Can't be bothered, mate. Alright. So I'll just rinse this off. If you rinse off your juicer while it's still wet, it won't stick. The bits of crud, you know, the pulp, whatever, won't stick to the juicer, and you don't, and it's easily cleaned. Whereas if you leave it sitting there for a period of time, you know, like half a day or a day or something, it's going to dry on it, gum onto it, and become a real pain to get rid of. Right, here we go. Boom. So in the bottom of the orange juice container, I've got orange juice, I've got orange zest, and I've got a dessert spoon of sugar. Because if you're going to cook with orange juice, you might as well probably put the sugar in, because it's going to need it. I mean, it's nice to drink orange juice on its own. You think it's fine, you don't need sugar, you don't. But when you cook with it, you do need the sugar. You know, don't have to listen to me. Go ahead and make it without the sugar. I don't care. Do what you like, but I think it needs sugar. Right, so I'll get a fry pan. Now there's I'm reliably informed there's in excess of 1 million different ways to cook fish. 1 million. More than 1 million. It's the first time I've cooked fish on this channel, but I do love fish and I do cook it quite often. I even catch it sometimes, not very often, but I do catch it. So everyone's got their own way of cooking fish. What I'm going to do is fry it in butter, throw on the orange juice. When it's nearly cooked, I'll throw in the orange juice and just finish it off with the orange juice and the sugar, and it'll be done. And the fish I'm using is Vietnamese catfish. This is called Basa, but it's basically Vietnamese catfish, which is farmed catfish, and it's really cheap. I buy it from Aldi. It's really cheap, and it's quite nice. Like, you know, it's not bad. Like most things from Aldi, it's not going to win, like everything from Aldi, it's not going to win World's Best Award. You know, it's never going to go down as the best fish in the world or anything. But it's quite nice. I don't mind it. And God, what is wrong with this stupid phone? For some reason, wouldn't let me log into it. Well, honestly, modern technology, you know, it's good when it works, but all the times it doesn't work. You know, it really sucks, and the people behind it need a good kick up the arse. Truly they do. So this is the Basa, which is Vietnamese catfish. It's quite nice fish. It's got a flesh that's moderately firm. It's not really firm, but it's not overly soft either. It's neither firm nor soft, which is good. Nice middle of the ground, round, and the flesh is mild, very mild flavour, slightly sweet, not a lot of flavour, but a little bit, you know. Tastes like fish, tastes like mild flavoured fish, which a lot of fish is mildly flavoured. Alright, so just I'm using a non-stick pan of butter over a high heat. I'll just turn the heat down a bit, so make it a moderately high heat. I don't want to stew it. I want it to get a little bit of carbonisation, but I don't want to burn it. And I want to make sure it's cooked right through. Now I've got some Plaistow cooking chocolate here. Now if you watched my Australian supermarket cooking chocolate review, my comparison of the various things, you'll know that this is one of the good ones. If you haven't watched the review, have a look. If you're interested in cooking with chocolate, have a look, because the sad fact of this matter, in this world you can't, that's not hot enough, going back to full heat. The sad fact of this world is you cannot trust what people say. You especially cannot trust what manufacturers say. When a company says something, you know, there's a fairly good chance it's a lie. It's at least 50% chance they're lying to you, right? They always get away with it. Always, right? The government will do whatever the big companies want, you know. I don't know why we don't, you know, the government's elected by us, not by the big companies. But the way they carry on, you would think they were elected by the big companies. Anyway, don't believe anything written on the packet ever, you know. Don't believe it, ever. There's only one way to find out, and that is to eat it. Compare them. You've got to compare the pear with the pear. You've got to compare all the ones, and then once you compare them side by side, you can straight away tell what's good and what's rubbish, right? You can tell straight away. So don't read the packet. Like my father said, don't drink the label. He was talking about wine. He was dead right. Don't drink the label. They put a lovely label on it. And you think, oh, it must be wonderful wine. It's got a beautiful label. Well, no, not necessarily. It's got nothing to do with it. The label and the wine, two completely different things. Similarly, medals, you know, they have gold medals. They'll put gold medals on a wine bottle. I mean, you know, what sort of competition was it that was entered? Are they even real to start with? Are they real gold medals? Is the wine in the bottle in any way related to the wine that won those gold medals? You know, don't believe them. Like, it might be, it might not be too. So don't believe any of it. Don't believe any of it. Trust, there's only one thing you want to trust, your taste buds. Trust them. Oops. Talking too much, not concentrating on the cooking. I'm bad like that. Bad. Right. Let me just test this pumpkin. Right, another 5 minutes on the pumpkin. So the pumpkin basically takes 20 minutes. It takes 20 minutes to steam pumpkin. So I thought 15 would be enough, but 5 minutes shy. But it'll be okay. It'll be okay. This fish is nearly done. I'm just going to let it cook a little bit longer, and then I'll throw in the orange juice, which will finish it. So why am I making this? Well, I was wondering what I could do with pumpkin, because I've got pumpkins growing in the back garden. I grow all kinds of things in the back garden with very little effort, people. Very little effort. I don't put a lot of work in. I'm not out there every day. You'd be lucky if I'm out there every week. Well, you know, just do the right things at the right time. Do the right things at the right time, and make sure you harvest your food. Make sure you harvest your food, and make sure that you water it. So the trick is an automatic watering system. Have an automatic watering system which will do the watering for you, and then you don't have to do anything except occasionally weed it. And if you plant things that don't need weeding, like pumpkins don't need to be weeded. Once they get big, they take over. They take over. They will they'll cull out the stuff below them because they'll be too big and too strong. They'll block out the light and they'll weed themselves. You don't need to do anything. And potatoes are the same. Potatoes are the same, they weed themselves. And tomatoes are too high for the weeds. So, you know, if you're like me and you're lazy, potatoes, pumpkins, zucchini, broad beans, what was the other one I said? Tomatoes, right? I plant those 5. And rhubarb, 6. Rhubarb is the easiest of all. You never have to do a bloody thing. As long as it gets water. Easy. Alright. Now the orange juice is very quickly reducing here. So I'll just get a shot of it. It's reducing nicely. You see how orange it is? It's very, very orange. So I'll just turn that over. Just make sure that the orange is under the fish. The orange will go into the fish and we'll be done. Fish will be done. And this will be nearly done in a sec. I'm going to need a saucepan to mash the pumpkin in because I'm going to add some chilli and the chocolate. Alright, looking good. I'll just turn the heat off that should be right. Let's check the pumpkin. Drinking Sapporo again. Not happy with the Australian beer market, as I've said before. Now I gather that oh, by the way, if you like drinking beer, make sure you get yourself a one of those wall-mounted bottle openers because they are great. They're really great. All right, I think we're done here. What I've got to do, before I take that out, I'm just going to put some butter in this pan because I'm going to mash the spuds with some butter. Sorry, not spuds, pumpkin. Mash the pumpkin with some butter, and I'm going to put in a bit of chilli. Now, as we all know, chilli and chocolate do work. So, not too much, just about half a teaspoon, I suppose. And just let that fry with the butter. Then I'll put it in the pumpkin. I'll mash it with the chocolate. That's the master plan. Don't need any more butter. Sapporo. It's not my ideal beer, but since Aldi removed Saint Etienne, which I really like Saint Etienne, but they bloody removed it. Thanks Aldi, pain in the arse you are. I was a big fan of Aldi when they started. When they started back in Australia, they came to Australia in what, about 2010, I think, about 2010 they came to Australia, and they were so much cheaper than Safeway, so much cheaper than Coles, and the quality was pretty good. Like, it wasn't always great, but it was reasonable. But the price, you know, was really cheap. You went to Aldi, you really noticed the price difference. But then, you know, bit by bit, once they achieved market penetration, once everyone knew who Aldi were, the price went up. Price went up. Quality either stayed the same or went down. I had problems with certain items at Aldi that were sometimes really good and sometimes not. Like I said before, if you want to mash something, use a proper masher. So much better than using a fork. So I just put a couple of the Nestle squares in there. Just a couple. I think it'll probably be enough. It's not going to matter. It doesn't have to be exact. Alright, and of course it turns the pumpkin brown. That's what chocolate does, folks. Turns everything brown. You know, but that's the way it is. So just get over it, people. It's brown, alright? Don't let it worry you. Alright, we're done. Turn everything off. Turn everything off. Oh, I suppose I should just taste that, make sure it's right. Yeah, of course it is. A little bit of salt. Wow. See, the idea is that it's dark. Chocolate is dark, not just in colour, but in taste. It's got this dark taste, sort of tastes dark. I mean, I know it's, you know, it's metaphorical, but it tastes dark. And so with the chilli and the chocolate, you get this warm, dark flavour. Now again, it's metaphorical. I mean, you can't, obviously, there is no dark taste bud. It's obviously not true, but you know what I mean. Hopefully you'll know what I mean. Dark. Dark and warm. Dark and warm. That's what we've got here. Dark and warm. So we've got the fish. Now again, you see, this is yet another example of orange and chocolate. I mean, I've been trying to get away from it, but it's just such a classic. So I might as well do it at least once more. In this case with fish. Fish and pumpkin. Now who cooks fish and pumpkin, right? Does anyone else do it? Not the Asians, I wouldn't think, since they don't really do pumpkins in China or Japan, do they? Or Vietnam. Do Vietnamese have pumpkins? I don't think so. I mean, maybe I'm wrong, Mala. They probably do these days with supermarkets and world food economies, the way that it is. Right. And drink to this dish, which I haven't tried yet. Well, I have made it once before, but this one, let's give it a go. Right. Put it out in the sun. Take a video. Let's go video. Let's go. So I've got to hit it twice again. Stupid. People need to be strung up that designed that. You can see the orange zest still there, and the and all caramelisation from the sugar. And here we've got the brown pumpkin, which is obviously the chocolate makes the pumpkin brown. That's the way it is. Let's have a go. What should we try first? The fish. Let's go the fish first. So, orange fish. Oh yeah. If you're Asian, you'll love that. Even if you're not Asian, you'll still love it because it's sweet and it's sticky. It's like sweet and sour pork, but you know, better. And goes really well with the fish. Really well. And the fish, I haven't overcooked it. I've just cooked it through. That's all. You know, I turned the heat off when it was done. Goes great with the orange, and that orange zest. Fantastic. Like I said, the fish is. Hang on. Maybe I'll get a shot of the fish flesh because we didn't have the fish flesh when I was filming it before. So hang on a sec. Alright, that'll give you an idea what the flesh is like on this Vietnamese catfish. Medium firm. It's not properly firm, but it's medium. Really nice fish to work with. It's not too hard, not too soft. Doesn't have a lot of flavour, just a little bit of flavour. So it sucks in the flavour of the chocolate. Sorry, the orange. Alright, and then you get a mouthful of this. Chocolate pumpkin. So I'm thinking maybe I should have put the chilli into the fish and not into the pumpkin. Like, if you're eating the two together, it doesn't really matter. But yes, you really need to eat the two together. So what about if we get a do you put them on the same fork? Not necessarily, I don't know. They're both really good. And they do go together, but do you want them on the same fork? I don't think so, because the orange stands out better without the chocolate. So you have the orange and then you have the chocolate, the pumpkin chocolate, and they go together, but you taste them separately. You taste them separately and the overall effect is together. And it's really good. Really good. I tell you, give it a go. It's really good. If it wasn't really good, would I be eating the whole thing? Would I? I don't think so. Chocolate and pumpkin. Give it a go. Give it a go. Honestly, good. Done. Finished. Excellent.